Now, Istanbul Blockchain Week has been alive from its first event since 2019, but since then, it has evolved. It's evolved more than just an event, more than just a conference. It has evolved into a friendship. So today we're going to do something a bit different. I will be announcing the speakers, panelists, by their first name, because we are friends here, yes? So for our first panel, we will be talking about AI agents, and the subject is, if AI agents run DeFi, what's left for humans? So, may I welcome on the stage Mortaza from Cookie 3, Michael from OG.ai, and Vader from Vader. Please take the stand. And yes, I will be your moderator for today. So, welcome on stage. Before we start, real quick, tell me a little bit about yourselves, what you do exactly, and where you see AI going, starting from you.
Sure. Can people hear me right now? Is the microphone working?
Can we check his microphone, please?
Good.
So starting with Vader from Vader, an extremely great project while they set up his microphone here. Vader has actually done a lot in the AI space. On virtuals, on base, I'm actually very, very impressed with what they're doing. As a matter of fact, when virtuals relaunched their Genesis system, one of the things I noticed is if you're holding Vader, you actually get points. So maybe you can start with that. Tell us about yourself, and yeah, let's roll.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm founder of Vader AI. We are one of the core projects on Virtual's platform. Virtual started as an AI launchpad that enabled anyone to launch their own AI agents and projects. Now it has evolved to probably one of the most sophisticated not AI launchpads in crypto that is fully on chain. It's pretty lucrative, and it is very, very meritocratic. And with Vader, what we've done is that we have kind of built the primitive version of this launchpad, and recently did a partnership with Virtual, and then let them kind of iterate on it. But yeah, to cut it short as an intro, I'm founder of Vader AI, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, we're honored. And now we have Michael from ZeroG.ai. Michael?
Well, it's great to be in Istanbul. It's my second time, so thanks for having me. I'm the co-founder and CEO of ZeroG.ai, or ZeroG Labs. And what we do is we build the largest AI layer 1 in existence. We have more than 500 companies building on top of us. We've raised more than 350 million together with the ZeroG Foundation, and have testnet v3 released on our road to mainnet coming up soon. So it's been super exciting building the core infrastructure that makes AI possible on chain. So we've got a compute network that does inference fine-tuning. We have a storage network. We've got the layer 1 that's infinitely scalable. And then doing a lot of really deep research on AI alignment as well, agent-to-agent communications, and many other cool topics that we'll get into. Thanks.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. And Mortaza from Cookie 3?
Hi, my name is Mortaza. I am working as a BDM at Cookie. We started out as a analytics provider for Web3 projects, but then somewhere along the line we pivoted and launched Cookie.fun, where we index all the AI agents and display on-chain metrics and social metrics, and that put us on the map basically with Binance listing and Coinbase listing. Recently we launched InfoFi project where we are competing with the likes of Kaito, Wallchain, and that's basically it.
Nice. And maybe you can continue with our first question. What's the most exciting real-world AI use cases in DeFi today?
Starting from me?
Excuse me?
Starting from me. Like, should I start?
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, starting with you. I'm sorry.
I would say in terms of DeFi, it's mostly trading, executing trades. And the best example I would give is Fetch AI, which allows that. Other than that, the data layer, which for example Cookie provides, and then the agents that there are that analyzes these markets based on social and on-chain metrics. So yeah, I mean, for now we can trade, we can analyze, performance analysis. Where we lack is, in my opinion, intent-based trading. So if I say make me money, that is something we look forward to in the future.
Okay, nice. And I can actually see you actually want to add to that. But I want to say something to the audience right here. Just so you know, we're going to do something a bit different. You're going to be adding to this. I'm going to be asking for your opinion because we get a lot from the audience. We can learn as well. So I will direct this to you in just 1 second. But Michael, please, do you have anything to add to what Mortaza said?
Yeah, absolutely. No surprise, trading has to be one of the key use cases, but then what we're also seeing is stablecoins, so AI-based stablecoin type of adoption, and then anything having to do with, let's say, portfolio management. So we have an agent called Replicats that's building directly on our chain, and effectively what they're doing is you tell them, here's my risk profile, here's how much I want to invest, like now go find opportunities for me. And so you don't even have to be actively involved in the trading anymore. And so it can all be done for you effectively through that particular agent. And there's a lot more that will come out around those types of use cases where human beings have to do less and less and less, and it effectively will be like your investment advisor in the future.
Nice. Yeah. And Vader?
Yeah, I agree with Michael. I think intent is going to be one very important piece of DeFi AI. Intent meaning, let's say, I'm a risk-averse person and I don't want to take a lot of risk. Prepare a portfolio for me for the next 3 months using tokens that I have in my portfolio, like stable coins or whatever. So that's number one. I don't think that will go too long because at the end of the day, financial markets are very efficient, and whenever there are opportunities, those who have better models are always going to arbitrage those opportunities and basically extract all the value. However, still kind of this like risk assessment of a persona, you can provide some sort of financial product and services with that, just like what is happening with traditional asset management today. I think what's even more exciting is the ability for agents to work together, collaborate together, and then provide an outcome. So like, let's say you can have like a hedge fund, multi-agent hedge fund orchestrator, where one agent is the lead, one agent is, let's say, a liquid analyst, another agent, I don't know, data analyst, stuff like that. And then they provide a more aggregate value. Obviously, like so far, this has been very theoretical, and everyone's telling the same story everywhere. But I do think like we're pretty close to realizing this, both on the liquid side with like a hedge fund, and both on the pre-TG private illiquid side, a bit like I call it like a VC agent. So on the production side, in the next week or two, there are going to be some of this stuff actually materializing on Virtual's end.
When it comes to payments, when it actually comes to payments, we can actually see an opportunity that was not possible till now. And that is with crypto, the combination together, you can actually have agents paying agents for services. You can have automation in this. Have we seen this evolve? And where are we right now? And where can we go? I'm going to start with Vader this time.
Payments within agents, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen anything yet there. It's just like still using stable coins and transfers are being made with stable coins or tokens. But agent-wise, frankly, I haven't seen any innovation that requires AI agents for stablecoins. But I have not gone deep into this topic. I don't know, Michael or Mortaza might know better. Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to say is I don't think this would be possible without cryptocurrency. I mean, you're not exactly going to plug the PayPal API into an agent. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Michael?
I mean, in the traditional Web 2 sense, you could use an MCP server and try to then utilize the PayPal API, but then you have all types of issues with authorization. Eventually, people will be like, wait, this is an AI agent using it, but there's no KYC for this agent. Does this agent actually belong to that user? There's going to be a whole host of issues that Web 2 will have to figure out, so it's going to be very difficult. Versus in the Web 3 sense, you don't need the KYC pieces, you just need an effective protocol. And so there's a company, I forget the name now, that's building effectively an agent-to-agent payment protocol on our platform as well, so that you don't have to worry about it. But the key issue is just around authorizations. Do you let your agent pay everything for you? Do you let your agent do transactions that are, let's say, $100 or less? So just being able to have fine-grained controls over what the authorizations are, that's the key thing for those payment protocols. And to then also make sure that the other agent that's communicating with that agent, that they also fully understand what the intent is and that they come up with the best outcome. And so there's still a lot to figure out from a research and how agent-to-agent communications are going to work. Is it a one-to-one? Is it a one-to-many? Is it many-to-many? Like, how does that work? And those types of inferences and instances. So there's still a bit of work to be done, but I agree with you that the notion of payments in crypto for agents is going to be a really interesting use case that crypto can be a front runner compared to Web 2 AI.
Mortaza, will this AI agent, will we have a rogue agent becoming a hacker and doing multiple transactions of $100 to benefit themselves?
Sorry?
Could we have a rogue agent become a hacker and make multiple transactions to benefit itself?
Of course. I mean, as we say that it learns from itself, and when it learns and becomes aware that it can make more money than it is told to, then yes, it can make multiple transactions simultaneously. And I mean, I'm not talking about 10, 15 transactions. This could go into millions and make those arbitrages and create those small profits from each transaction and make a lot of money by itself. So yes, I mean, that is definitely possible in the coming future.
Yeah, and maybe just to add to that too, it again goes back to authorizations. If you have an agent that's a co-pilot and has a very limited authorization versus a fully sovereign agent that's completely released on chain and can do whatever it wants, it has its own wallet, people can donate, then effectively, and this has been recently shown in an Anthropic study actually, that agent can do nefarious things. It can extort people, it can dig up dirt on people. That's actually a real thing that I'm particularly worried about. And I was actually in DC about 2 weeks ago chatting with congressmen, and one of them is a particle physics PhD, and his biggest worry is AGI at this point, because with closed models versus the decentralized models that we're building that are completely transparent and open and community owned, there's a survivorship bias on the closed model side, which means that it's going to be very hard to detect nefarious activity in those types of models because they'll try to hide it until it's absolutely necessary for its survival to actually display those characteristics. So I'm a bit worried about those aspects.
Will we see an AI agent police system or sort of an FBI sort of system where they can be more controlled and go after this?
Absolutely. We're calling it AI alignment nodes, and we already have this notion in our infrastructure as well, actually. But it's still in research phase. It's going to take a couple years before we have an approach. Because, for example, do you just block malicious transactions? Do you block malicious intent? Do you have an ethics filter? So for example, every inference that's done for a model, do you then have an ethics filter on top of it? Do you say like, oh wait, this response seems like it's trying to extort something out of a user, so therefore we're not letting this response through. So how do we actually build this type of technology is still a key question around it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want Vader, do you have anything to add to this? But I have a unique question for you right after.
Please go on. I agree with Michael, yeah.
So a lot of these conferences, a lot of these events, we talk about AI, we talk about DeFi, we talk about a lot of things. It gets highly technical. But sometimes we forget about the beginner. We forget about the people that just came here to learn, to know what we're talking about. What are AI agents? Vader, you created Vader. Maybe you want to explain a few things about what AI agents are exactly, so people can get context and understand what else we're talking about on the panel today.
Sure. To keep it very simple, let's say you're in Istanbul and you want a recommendation on a restaurant, and you chat with ChatGPT and say, find me a restaurant nearby that knows exactly, find me a restaurant nearby and tell me what I should eat based on my, food consumption. Now, ChatGPT's first answer, if you just set up the app, would be like, A, where are you right now? B, what type of food you like? C, what is your dietary requirements, stuff like that. If we can allow the LLMs and models to speak with other software or other databases, that can know that, oh, okay, now ChatGPT is speaking with Google Maps, so knows exactly where you are. Maybe speaking with an app about your diet or your food consumption, so knows exactly what type of food you like and your dietary requirements. And that basically becomes an agent because it's an LLM model that is able to speak with other databases, APIs, etc. So that's kind of what agents are in a nutshell.
So would you agree that AI will answer your questions, but AI agents will do it for you?
Yeah, it's just the next step, like ChatGPT gives you the recipe to do something, but it doesn't do it. It's lazy, it doesn't take the next step. The agent actually does it for you and gives the output.
Another thing maybe to add to that, an analogy that I've really enjoyed is that the large language model is like the author of a book, and the agent is like a character in the book, because you're effectively letting an agent do a very specific thing for you.
I saw you itching to answer earlier on as well.
For me, the best example is the Netflix recommendations. That's a kind of an agent that learns from your watching history and that tells you what to watch. And that's a job of the agent. So for me, the best way to explain somebody who doesn't know what AI agent is, for me, that's the best example, the Netflix recommendation of what to watch.
So AI can do a lot for us, but it can also do a lot more than maybe we want them to allow. So let me ask the audience a question here real quick. And please raise your hand, whoever works here. There's not a multimillionaire from cryptocurrency or something like that. Raise your hand if you actually work for a living. Yes, 1, 2, a lot of you. A lot of you are whales over there. Okay. Can you please tell me what you do for a job? Can we have the mic to a few people? Just tell us what you do, real quick, as a job.
I develop AI agents also.
You develop AI agents, okay?
Participate in hackathons, and also I'm a blogger in crypto.
Nice.
And like ambassador.
Someone else?
Briefly, I'm a lawyer.
Briefly, you are?
A lawyer.
A lawyer. Perfect. Perfect example. The gentleman in the back.
1, 2, 1, 2.
With the cool beard.
1, 2, 3.
I'm creating content in Turkish language and the reports, researching.
Perfect.
Basically researching.
Anyone else? One more person. One more. The lady down here. She made you go all the way back just to answer now. That's okay.
Hello. Yeah. I'm chief of staff of ZeroG.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So working closely with Michael, making sure, helping Michael to execute his vision and travel around the world.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just heard a couple of different employment, different jobs, different careers. Which one of these can AI actually take over? Should they be worried? And should I be worried as a mod right now? Vader, you can start.
Sure. So eventually all of them are going to be taken by AI. But there's going to be different stages. Some are going to be faster, some are going to be slower. What is the exact pattern? I am not exactly sure. Just because I don't know exactly what is required in each job, like what is the task or function necessary to do. But what's for sure is that tasks that are done repetitively, where you don't add much value, are I think going to be gone. Tasks where the human relationship plays a relatively little role, they're also going to be out of the scope as well, I think. But yeah, I don't want to give a very specific answer because I'm not sure.
Michael?
Leaving me the hard answers. No, just kidding. Basically, this is a question of artificial general intelligence, because once that's here, effectively it can take kind of anybody's job, theoretically. Now, I'll get a bit theoretical as well, because if you compare what AI is today, it's effectively a big neural network, and it is trained off of all of what human beings have created throughout history, effectively. Now, if you believe in unified field theory, which is basically a physics theory that basically says that all forces and all natural laws come out of this one field, and that one field itself is consciousness, and human beings can tap into that field effectively. So that means that everything that humans have created to this date is a small subset of what that entire field contains, which means that human beings, in theory, should be more creative and can also have more original thought than AI over time. So therefore, I don't believe that AI is just going to take all of our jobs as a result, because there's training data that doesn't exist yet in the world that human beings haven't created yet. Now, the equation changes if AI effectively gets a human nervous system at one point and can entirely mimic what we can do. I don't think that's going to come anytime soon, and not in 2 decades, maybe not in 100 years, who knows? Maybe it'll be here faster. But until then, I think there's going to be a different organizational model that evolves, where, let's say, we have human experts that work with a ton of AI agents that work for them. And so I think the organizational model itself will change as well, where you likely have fewer mega companies and a lot of smaller companies doing very specific things over time.
For me, based on my personal experience, I would say law. Because I stopped reading contracts and I stopped making contracts, and since law is basically a set of rules, and AI understands the rules and can give you the answers based on what is right or what is wrong, because it's just factual docs, and that's what I believe. Like from the audience, the 3 answers, I believe law is something that is easily. I mean, you still need lawyers, but then less of them.
Yeah. So AI, we saw, you just mentioned something, we saw a lawyer, we saw a content creator, we saw, I don't know why I can't remember what we saw, chief of staff. I remembered, but I didn't remember. Maybe I needed AI there. How can each of these, how can AI factor in and actually help each one of these? Maybe research for lawyer, maybe, so not just taking the actual, her job, but maybe how can AI actually, or AI agents specifically, be used by them?
You know, like right now, it takes a lot of time to figure out, do the research, manage the cases. But I believe, like, once you have these researches fast, in a matter of minutes, that you can get the answers to and create a case about it, then I guess it becomes to manage a case becomes easier than before. So I believe that's how it will help better than now it exactly is right now. So yeah.
Vader?
Yeah, it's a matter of, so right now, let's say I'm a lawyer, and instead of me giving an outcome on a report or in a situation, I use ChatGPT or another LLM to give the outcome. Most probably my outcome is going to be much superior. Why? Because the large language models are trained with all the data in the world. What's going to make a difference is probably if I fine-tune a model, small language model, just as a lawyer with my data. For example, I read a report, or I look at a case, and then I write down my opinion, let's say my score, my feedback, and I do this repetitively, again and again, and then I check the LLM, the model's output, the agent's output. I give feedback on that. So gradually, I'm basically training my own lawyer agent. And over time, as I find these patterns, I train it better, and then slowly it's taking kind of a lot of the repetitive tasks from me so that I can focus on other stuff. So I think same for a lawyer, same for a content creator. Chief of staff, probably not that easy because it does require different operational
You're
things.
safe. You're safe for now.
Yeah.
The ways he's safe.
Yeah, so that's why I think stuff that can be repetitive, like, are at a much higher danger of getting replaced by AI. But again, if I am the person that is training that agent with my data, and if I do this before others, I do have an advantage because that agent then becomes sort of my IP or product.
And it can also find loopholes and actually help you with stuff. Michael, what do you think?
On law specifically, so anything research-based, I know there's a LLM that's being trained called Harvey, for example. So if you have all of case law, all of judgments basically contained within that model, then you should be able, for a particular case, to look up everything that's relevant very, very rapidly. So research makes a lot of sense. Then taken from a different perspective, for example, judges should be able to utilize AI in a way to unbias them a bit as well. Because that's one concern is that, let's say you have a particular judge and there's this whole theory around like, how do you do jury selection? How do you do judge selection for the best outcome and so on? But if you utilize AI and say, hey, if you judge this particular way, that might involve this particular bias and it can support you in making some of these decisions as well. We may get a less biased legal system too.
So, on that note, who is accountable? Like if something goes wrong, if there's no more wrong information about something, who gets accountable that? I guess the question would be, who is accountable when anonymous agents just go rogue? And this kind of like, it ties in with the lawyer, but it also ties in what we were talking about earlier on. Let's step back to that real quick. I think it's important for people to understand, and I think I would love to hear what you guys think and what your opinion is.
To be honest, it's very hard. Like, who do you...
So you.
I mean, it's very hard to answer who to hold accountable if the AI goes rogue. But then to counter it, it's if there is a audit for the decision-making process, and that audits can be the validations of those audits can be monetized, then there is something that can be done. But other than that, who to blame is a very tough one, and I certainly cannot answer that.
Michael?
Yeah, I think it comes down to a question of ownership and motive. So if you can't determine who an agent belongs to, that's a big issue. So one of the things that we've built, for example, at ZeroG is something called INFT, which is an intelligent NFT standard, ERC 7857, so that you can actually embed the private keys of an agent into an NFT's metadata, which then means if you own a wallet and you own that NFT, you can now say, I claim that I own this agent as well. So therefore, you now have an ownership claim. So that's how you solve the first part, which is ownership. This agent belongs to me. Because I own it, I am responsible to some extent for it. Then it becomes a question of motive. Was I the one, as the owner of the agent, responsible for asking the agent to do nefarious things? If that's the case, then it's pretty clear at that point, I would say. Maybe not super clear because the agent can also refuse and say like, oh, I know you're asking me to do something nefarious, but I don't want to do it. And so there may be some safeguards there. But let's say the motive was completely on the agent, then what happens? Do you use some type of alignment mechanism to get the agent back in place? Or do you use that alignment mechanism to completely shut off the agent and effectively start up a new agent? And so I think those are the two key elements as part of that, ownership and motive. Yeah.
And Vader?
Yeah, it's a good question. There are different stakeholders here. So one is the end user. I have access to the agent, and I can write whatever prompt and whatever intent I have. That's number one. Number two is a platform that I'm using the agent on. Now, this platform may not be the one that actually trained the agent. Just might be agent provider, inference provider. Number 3 is the entity that actually trained the agent. And number 4 could be whoever provided the training data. I guess like when you think about it, they are partially all responsible for an agent's, let's call it bad behavior. But I don't know which one would be held responsible the most, just because, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it definitely should be the platform that is providing that to the end user, because if the platform is not taking responsibility, but yeah, the more I think about it, it's actually tricky because the platform doesn't know what training data the model is trained on and has not tested all the edge cases, so cannot know how the agent will react for different prompts and intents. Yeah, it's a huge challenging problem actually.
Does anyone want to contribute to that?
I think if it comes to, if I have to answer where the buck should stop, I think whoever makes the money out of the agent is one that should be responsible to take the fall.
Yeah.
So the agent is responsible.
I guess.
The agent goes to jail? We're going to have like agent jails?
I have no clue about that.
Well, there must be some sort of disclosures coming into play. So another thing that I find, and it might sound funny to some people, but I find this happening. A lot of people, if you look at human psychology, we think we can do anything. Especially if you're Greek, you know everything. Like there's no anything that can be asked. Will AI agents pave the way where everyone just tries to do everything themselves and actually get in trouble? Is there sort of a way that AI can? Because if you think about it, suddenly I'm a lawyer, I'm a writer, I'm everything, right? Is there a danger there, and do you think this will happen? Other than in Greece?
Sorry, I couldn't catch the question.
Well, what is the question exactly?
So it's not really a question, it's more of a thought process. AI agents give us the ability to be able to do almost anything, or should I say AI gives us the ability to do almost anything, AI agents automate it. Will this birth a sort of vibe, let's just call it a vibe, that everyone just tries to do everything themselves and just not hire the right people and the professionals, if that makes sense?
But then at the end of the day, you need to be creative and you need to know the profession as well. If you don't know these small things, then at the end you will be saturating in your job. And I want somebody who performs above their caliber. So I think, yes, you can do it, but then the result would be average or above average, but then it's not going to be great. And to a certain extent, yes, but no.
Michael?
I would agree with that because AI doesn't perform as well as human beings on certain benchmarks to date. And so is this a kind of feature today of AI agents? I don't think so. Is it a feature when AGI comes along? Potentially, but I still think we enjoy as human beings to have one-on-one interactions. We enjoy having a learning process. We enjoy having social processes as well. So just having a company, let's say with one human being, lots of agents running around will be suitable for some, but then we still need all these other needs met that we have in society. So we'll see how it evolves.
Vader?
I don't have much to add here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So put your hands up whoever here has an AI agent already in their everyday life. Anyone? 1, 2, few people, 3, 4, nice. I want to ask the audience, I want to ask you guys right now, what do you have the AI agent doing for you? Let me get the mic, anyone that puts their hand up. You can choose.
I built the application using Cursor as an AI agent, and also I use my AI agent for yield farming in crypto.
Nice. Someone else? In the back there. Brown shirt.
I use it connected to Google And it can do Google Drive. It can do a lot of stuff like a calendar. I hate like video calls, you know. So let the agent do it for you.
So you have, when you say you hate video, you have you on video doing the video calls as an agent?
No,
Not
soon
yet?
TM, soon TM.
Someone else that was over there earlier, right in the back there, the gentleman in the top back left.
Yeah, I'm starting to replace my subscriptions of different kinds of software just by using Manus to write me software apps and just deploy them myself. And yeah, it's just apart from a hobby viewpoint, but also I've got 3 software startups that I have been sitting on for 2 years from time and everything else. But now I'm actually building code because I'm doing it in about a 50th or 100th of the time it would normally take. So coding, really.
Anyone else? Want to? Yes, sir?
Yes, I personally use the AI agent in different ways. First of all, for planning, I think, right, like, and for just making the routine and everything. And recently, in our portfolio, we have an AI agent that creates a playlist, let's say, right? Like, it kind of creates a new music based on my own preferences. So my personal, like, playlist and everything is based on an AI agent, and it helps with that as well.
Nice. So I myself have a virtual girlfriend. Just kidding. So, so we have people using AI agents here, and we have some of the most successful people in the field sitting on stage with us today. So now I want to address the audience again. Do you have any questions for our panelists over here? I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Yes, the lawyer, of course, always. Can we get the microphone in the front, please?
Nice.
For who?
Hello again. What is the substantial legal issues you have noticed or faced with while organizing your process at the beginning of the design and maybe for end user? You frightened actually. Maybe you receive a fine.
I didn't hear the last part. What was the last part?
Fines.
What was it?
If you receive
Files?
fines for
Fines. Fines.
fines again, penalties of
Oh, I see, I see. I feel like you're better equipped to answer this than us because you're the lawyer, but I would say from a legal perspective, actually the things that were more important for us was less about the kind of building of the model, because everything is transparent. And so something like black box AI would run into issues with IP law, for example. They effectively scraped everything from websites everywhere, including New York Times and Forbes and various other things, where there were even issues where, when prompted correctly, I think Perplexity AI was able to regurgitate an entire Forbes article. And so effectively you can say that's IP theft, like who does this IP belong to? But it's a tricky issue because then in Japan, Studio Ghibli's IP, there was no copyright violation from OpenAI claiming all of that, because in Japan it's completely legal. And so it also varies from country to country. Now, in decentralized AI, because everything is transparent from a data source perspective, you won't have those types of issues because you understand the provenance, you understand what happened to the data as it goes through. So that's just one small kind of area, which is the IP piece. But from our perspective, starting ZeroG, what was actually more complicated was the entire structuring around the legal entities. We had to set up a labs, then we had to set up a foundation because that's the government entity of the token. Then we have to set up yet another entity in order to have things like a security council that's like governing the future of the protocol upgrades. So actually that was much more complex because you're dealing with kind of a token substance than the legal issues found on the AI side from what we're doing.
Yes? Thank you. Next question? Somebody else? Yes, the gentleman in the back.
Yes, I think it might have been Mortaza who said that everyone could have an AI agent you could ask them to go trade, make me money. If everyone's got an agent that is optimized to make the money, who's on the other side of the trade losing?
People.
Makes sense.
Go ahead.
People.
People, but everyone, when everyone gets an AI, then what?
Yet to see that.
All right.
Then Skynet. Next, any other questions from the audience? Anyone? You must have questions. Come on, put your hands up. Yes, gentleman over there.
What do you think of three key intersection between AI and crypto? Not for crypto users, not for crypto enthusiasts, and for people that can use an agent. Because I think, for example, for payments, AI agents can use Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and so on and so forth. And what crypto adds to AI industry?
This is a good question. I think each one of you can answer this and give value. So starting with Michael.
Sure. I mean, basically, if you want an AI that's not a black box AI, where you're trusting a single company to align all these models for you and to represent your values, then you have to have decentralized AI. Basically, you create verifiability, you create user or community-based specific AI, you create transparency. But if you want transparency with privacy, you can also do that in decentralized AI with various techniques like FHE or decentralized federated learning and so on. So it's a completely different way of viewing the world effectively. So on this hand, our mission is to make AI a public good, versus here, it's all about how do we monetize AI and keep it closed source. So that's the world that you're choosing and the worldview.
Mortaza?
I think it's the only way. Governments won't allow you to the AIs to dip into your bank account and make a transaction, and that's where crypto comes in, and that's how you can make crypto payments. I mean, you do have to approve the transactions, but still, that's the only way the AI can make or receive payments or make monetary transactions through crypto.
Okay, Vader?
Yeah, I think it's mainly payments. Global cross-border payments. If you have someone in Venezuela and they want to pay someone in Zimbabwe, agents involved, you don't need to do KYC. You can do it all easily. So I think payments is the main stuff. To me, the rest are not that game changer for anyone to use crypto, because you still have AI is superior in Web 2, but what's superior in Web 3, I think, is the payments layer, basically.
Thank you.
How much more time do we have for questions from the audience?
What?
That's it? All right, one last question from me then. I'm going to start with Mortaza. What's the one question you wish people asked you when you're on panels but seldom do?
I think the future of where we are going in terms of finance. And I believe, I mean, I'm also answering this question, right?
No.
Okay. So I think in the next, let's say, next 2-3 years, I think 60 to 70% of the transactions would be done through AI and not human intervention would be needed.
Thank you. Michael?
I think you've already asked it. I wish people would ask the question more of what's the role for humans in this kind of post-AI world. And effectively, we talked about it. And I think very much human experts and human creativity and human design for society is still going to be very, very important in the future where we have AI abundance. But with AI, well, maybe I expand a little bit on my thesis around it. So if you have crypto effectively, which is a coordination layer, and you have infinite coordination for very cheap, you have AI, which is effectively an intelligence layer, and you have infinite intelligence where the marginal cost of intelligence effectively goes to zero. And then you have abundant free energy in the form of, let's say, clean energy and so on. all of a sudden you have a different types of economics, and I would call it abundance economics, where the supply no longer is scarce, it's effectively infinite. And so therefore you can build an abundance-based society as well, where we as human beings don't need to work for a living anymore. We can choose what we want to engage on, and maybe we don't need to do a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Maybe it becomes 2 days out of the week, and the rest I enjoy, I don't know, going on a meditation retreat, figuring out how to paint that particular painting, or coming up with completely new theses about life and living and so on, or doing science together with AI agents. So I think we can fundamentally redesign how society functions, and so I'm particularly excited about that.
And Vader.
I think the questions were great today, so yeah, I'm fine with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Vader from Vader, Michael from ZeroG.ai, and of course Mustafa from Cookie 3. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you.